Hi peeps, I'm just going to cover round 7 and 8 again because as was quite rightly pointed out, a lot of the video that I did on Sunday was very high up and therefore some people couldn't see very clearly, and that's fair enough, so I'm just going to recap and go over it again. So the flower is complete, as you can see, and we're just, as I did the last time, I've taken all the ends off so that I haven't hidden where we're going to be working into. And I've got my fern, if you're following the pattern, or your alternative colour, whatever that may be. And the first instruction is to join on the reverse of the flower. So for the first part, I'm going to just flip the flower over and show you where I'm going to join, and then I will work from the front as is suggested in the pattern. But just for the purposes of showing you where I'm going to join this yarn in, I've put it onto the reverse side. So it wants us to join in the stitch between the two petals, which is the double crochet, which is this stitch here. So this is where we need to insert our hook. And I noticed when doing the video the other day that it's actually helpful to loosen those stitches off a touch, either using a smaller hook or using a darning needle, just so you can get your hook in. So I'm just going to insert my hook now and join in the colour, and we're joining with a chain and then a double crochet. So right, so we're joining with a chain and then we do a double. Helps if you put the hook, join with a chain and then insert again and do a double crochet in that one stitch there. Okay, now I'm going to turn the work over onto the right side to do the rest, and when we come to joining the stitch in each double crochet, I'll just fold the petals over and show you exactly where it is we're going to insert the hook. Okay, so now we need to chain 5. So I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to fold the petals over. I'm just going to use the darning needle, and it's the little V at the back, right in the centre of the two petals. That's the double crochet that's in between. And I'm just loosening it off so I can get the hook in there without any bother. So I'll just put my hook in, and we're doing a double in that spot. Okay, and then it wants us to do another chain of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it wants us to slip stitch. Now you can slip stitch in the bottom of the chain if you like, but I don't think that gives a very sturdy base, so I've slip stitched back into the back of that double crochet to make sure I've got a nice sturdy base. And I'll just pull this out and turn it over so you can see what that looks like. So this is where we joined. This is our 5 chains here. We joined into this double crochet from the previous round, which was the white or the cream edging on the flower, and then we've just created this loop here with 5 chains, and this is how we're starting to make the square. This is one of our corners, so when we finish this round we should have 4 of these. So just turn it back so we can continue with the pattern. So now we need to chain 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just folding the petals over. That's the petal that's on the right, this is the petal on the left, this is the double crochet in the middle. I'm just loosening it off enough to allow my hook in there. It goes in there, pull up, double crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold that petal over and that petal over. So we've got petal on the right, petal on the left. Just using the darning needle just to slacken that off a touch to allow the hook to get in there quite easily. Insert the hook, pull through, double. Now we need to create another corner, so we're chaining 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a slip stitch to create that corner loop, like so. So we've now got a loop at this end and a loop. So now we've got 2 corners emerging. Okay, so we'll continue. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold the petals over. Now this is the double crochet where we joined the cream yarn, or the white yarn in my case, so it looks a bit thicker. So we've actually got more than just the V of the double crochet, we've also got the strand that was it forms part of the chain, but we need to ignore that. We're not dealing with that. We just want to look at the V that's created by the double crochet. It's not easy to see, but I'm not picking up this strand here. I'm trying to just pick up also where the yarn has been fed up to weave it in is here as well, which is why this is quite a bulky stitch, but it's at the back of your work so no one will see it. But again, just slacken it off so that you can get enough leverage to get your hook in. It's still tight though. So come on, you think. It's coming, it's coming. There, we're in. Pull your yarn up, double crochet. Okay, so we'll continue again. So we're chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're moving on to the next 2 petals. We'll fold over and identify the V, which is here. Just loosen that off, and we're just going to do a double crochet in here. So we'll pull up, complete. Now this is going to be our 3rd corner, so now we need to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch to create the loop. Okay, so that's our 3rd loop here, which is our 3rd corner, and we'll just continue round, and once the round's finished I'll show you the reverse. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to be doing a double stitch in this double here. So again, just loosen it off a touch and put a double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold over. Now this is going to be the last corner loop in this stitch here. So we'll just insert our hook here, in, and a double, and chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch. Like so. And then we've got a final chain of 5, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the round 8 is the same colour. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the first double crochet that we did when we joined our yarn. So this, I'll just bend, this little strand here is the chain that we joined with. So I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the double crochet there. So I'll slip stitch into there, and I'll just pull that stitch right up so I can turn the piece over and show you the back. Okay, so we now have, this is where we started. We chained 5 and we did this loop here and slip stitched it for corner 1, chain 5 and joined into the next petals along, chained 5 and then created another chain 5 loop for corner 2, chained 5 and joined again, then chain 5 and did the corner loop for corner 3, chain 5 along the side, anchored in between those 2 petals, and then chain 5 and created corner number 4. Then we've chained the last 5 and then slip stitched to join them all together. Now at this point I'm going to weave my little tail in from the original join at this point so that I can crochet over it with the next round. So just feed it up, and just like every other that I've done in all the other videos, just weave it up and down the chain. We're going to be working into this chain, so I know we're going to be crocheting over it, and I know we're definitely going to be working into this corner loop, so I'm going to weave it along here too. And always end on a downstroke with your tail at the back of the work, out of the way. So that's round 7, and it doesn't look the neatest at this moment in time, but don't worry about that. Hopefully round 8 will help straighten things out a touch. Okay, so round 8, we're sticking with the same colour, and the first instruction is to chain 1 and do a double crochet in the same place. So that's exactly where we were, like so. Then we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the instructions are to skip 2 chains from the chain 5 and to do a double crochet in chain 3 in the middle. And if you want to stick to the pattern 100% true, then that's what you would do. So you would just insert your hook into the chain and do your double crochet. I'm going to just work into the chain space because I think it gives a little bit of manoeuvre if necessary later on, whereas working into the chain means you have less manoeuvrability, and you're kind of stuck, whereas if you're in the chain space it allows that stitch to move along and settle where it needs to be. So I've worked in the chain space, but if you're following the pattern you would work into the actual chain, the third chain in the middle. Then we need to chain 2, so had my hook the wrong way, 1, 2, and now we've got to put 7 trebles into this very first corner here. So yarn over and we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So 7 stitches all in that corner. Okay, then we need to chain 2, 1, 2, and then again it's asking you to skip two of these chains here and work into the third double crochet. Again, I'm just going to work into the chain space so I've got that bit of flexibility if I need it later on. Then we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet right into the double crochet that's anchored onto the flower here. Then chain 3 again, 2, 3, and then a double, skip 2 chains and work into the third if you like, or work directly into the chain space. Chain 2, and we're back to a corner, so we need to put 7 trebles into this corner here. So we'll yarn over and I'll do 7 trebles. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so we've now got 2 corners emerging. So now it's chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2 chain and work into the third, or work into the chain space, whichever you want to do. Chain 2, 3 even, sorry, and then a double crochet in the double crochet that's anchored between the petals. Okay, and we chain 3, 2, 3. Again, either skip 2 chains and work into the third, or work into the chain space to give that bit of flexibility. And we're back to coming towards another corner. So we chain 2, 1, 2, and we're putting 7 trebles into this corner. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Just a quick note, I am using UK terminology here. I'm not biased against US terminology or Dutch, but I have to admit I wouldn't be able to pronounce the Dutch stitches, to be fair. It's just that this is the pattern I'm working off. So if you need to transfer the stitches into whichever language you're using, please just be aware that I'm currently using English terminology, or UK terminology, sorry. Okay, so we've got 7 here, so this is now our third corner emerging. So now we're chaining 2, 1, 2. Again, skip 2 chains and work into the third, or work into the chain space, whichever you prefer. Chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet into that double crochet in the previous round that's anchored between the petals. Excuse me, it's not chain 2, it's chain 3, so I'll pull back and start again. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into that double crochet that's anchored between the petals. Chain 3, then either skip 2 and work into the third chain, or double crochet into the chain space itself. Chain 2, and then we're back to corner now. So this is the fourth corner, so we need to put 7 trebles into here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2 of your chain 5 and work into the third, or work into the chain space. Now we're coming to the end here, and you would normally end with a chain 3 and then a slip stitch, but as you know, I tend to end slightly differently. So I'm only going to chain 2, and then I'm going to cut my yarn with a fair tail and just pull that yarn. Don't pull tight. We need to keep these 2 chains. We're going to create a third when we join, okay, and this avoids knots and slip stitches. So if we thread that end on our needle, now then, this first V here is your slip stitch. and we don't want to work into that to keep everything straight. This V here, which I'll just pull to one side a touch, is the top of this double crochet here. So that's where we want to be inserting our needle, and we need to collect both strands of the V, and we're pushing the needle from the front of the piece of work right through to the back, and we're just pulling enough so that that strand that we've just pulled through matches the strands on either side. Then we take our needle and come back on ourselves and put it down the center of that second chain that we made with the hook, which is where the yarn is coming from originally, and just pull. And we're just pulling enough so that we get a similar sized V as we have elsewhere. And then just to finish off, because the chain consists of 3 strands, I'm just coming back up through the double crochet to create a false bump on the back there. So it's pretty invisible. And then I'm just going to weave this end around. Again, I know we're going to be working into this chain in round 9. So I'm just going to weave it right across and right over the corner, so I know it's going to get anchored in well. As I've said before, I've never had ends come out on me before, even after washing, so, and I'm a neat freak, so this is my preferred method of joining. If you prefer your slip stitches and a weave in at the end, that's entirely up to you. So here we go. So we've got our flower in the center, and we've got 4 corners emerging, and I'll just turn it over so you can see where we worked into those 4 chain loops on each corner to start to create the shape for the square. So we've now got 4 corners and 4 edges rather than a circle. So I hope that's helpful. I hope this video has been a bit clearer than the original one. I've tried really hard to keep my hands down. It's hard sometimes when I'm trying to look where I'm going, look at the computer screen, and stop my bum from moving the camera. But I think I've managed it this time. So I hope that was helpful and a bit clearer than the last one. And happy hooking. I'm about to do rounds 1 to 4 of block 2. So thank you very much. Bye. Happy hooking.